Okay guys, I think we're live. Let's see how the audio sounds today. Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. Check, 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 check. Okay, that's gonna echo if we're not careful, so we're gonna have to mute that really quick. All right, guys, I think we're about ready to get started here. All right. So what are we going to do today, guys? We are going to do some more putting. Continuing to test. This is the SKX from Seymour, guys. Check out this bad Larry. Oh, we've got a superstar on the stream. Hello. Look at you wagging your tail. See if we can get the milling in the face to show up here. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. Such a cool design. Hi, you. Hi. Are you looking for some attention? You are. I think we should see how many in a row we can make. How many putts in a row can we make? Hi. I know, you just want to lick everything. This is my favorite, Dad. This is my favorite. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. I know, you gotta be careful of the... This is the Pels tutor. I know, you don't care about practice, do you? Talking about practice? Not a game. Not a game. Practice. Not a game. Playoffs. Playoffs. You want to talk about playoffs? All right, let's see how many in a row we can make. Come play at Allendale Country Club. I've never heard of Allendale Country Club, but I'm certainly always down to try a new golf course. It's very generous of you to offer. Thank you very much. All right, guys, so how many subs are we at? It's like, I think that was the number. And we are going to start our streak, guys, at 0. We are going to try to make as many 5-footers in a row as we can. Give me 1 second. Come on up here. Up, up. Come on. Up, up. Come here. Come here. All right. Jake says, I love your content. Thanks so much, Jake. I appreciate that. Jake, can I ask you while you're here, what kind of content do you like the most, out of curiosity? All right, guys, we're here at 5 feet from the hole. We are gonna try to make as many 5-footers in a row as we can. Let's see, hopefully you guys can see this. There we go. Inspirational content. Okay, I like that. All right, that's one, guys. You got to make the first one. If you want to go on a long streak, you got to make the first one. And the second. And the third. Jake hit 100 subs today. Incredible, dude. Congratulations. Just like, you know, like I just said, you got to make the first putt. You got to get the first sub, then the second, then the third. You know, I'm almost to 8,000 now, and I can still remember, you know, going from like 72 to 68 subs. That's, you know, because it goes up and down, right? People follow and follow. Happy Thursday to you, Elevator. And it's, you know, I remember being devastated. Like, what am I doing? You know, I'm never going to reach 100 subs. And now here I am, you know, well on my way to almost to 8,000. So just stick with it, Jake. One day at a time. All right. There we go. Let's see how many in a row we can make. Keep working hard, as John likes to say. Hey, Jamin, nice to see you, brother. Thanks for being here. All right, guys, that's 10 in a row. Gotta make the first 10 before you can make 100. The all-time record on the channel, guys, is 333. If somebody wants to keep count in the chat, too, you're always welcome to do that. You know, just 11, 12, 13, 14. Helps with the engagement as well. Jake, I'm going to go drop you a sub as soon as I'm done here, if I'm not already. I feel like I might be. There you go. Now you have 101. Jake, how about that? That's 12. Lucky number 13. 14. Throw a party on every 10. Absolutely right, guys. Warren's here. Hey, Warren. Appreciate you. $16. Let's go. 18. 19. 20. There we go, guys. Let's throw a little party. The party just gets bigger every 10 we make, right, Jamin? Gotta go to the gym after this, guys. We're trying to keep our clubhead speed journey going. $22. Let's go. Helping the last little bit of the work go by. I appreciate it. Yeah, absolutely, Jamie. That's what we're here to do, you know? It's a very slow time of year as far as golf content is concerned. $25. 25% of the way there. Boom. This is for 30 in a row, guys. Boom, right in the center. 100%, that's what we're looking for, guys. Gotta update our tracker, guys. We totally forgot. 30 in a row. Oh, fired Chrissy Gnome today. There's 60-degree weather on the horizon. Some days are just better days than other days. All right, let's go for 31 here, guys. Boom. Love to see that. Nice. Tell you what, guys, this putter is feeling really good about, you know, it's why you just keep your mouth shut most of the time, right, guys? I start talking about how good the putter is. I start talking about how good I feel over it, and then I just make a terrible putt. We got to start over again at 0. The golf gods are always listening. Never forget that. The golf gods are always listening. All right, not our best. Okay. Back to 0. SB's here. What's up, SB? Warren's in Western New York. What's up, Warren? We are up here in New England, my dude. Rhode Island. Small but mighty. Boom. Easy work, guys. That's 7. 8. 9. Bogeys here. That's what we're trying to find out. What putter is that? This is the SKX from Seymour. It's one of their zero torque models. Hello, superstar. Hi. Everybody, this is Miss Lily with the tail that never stops wagging. When and why did you start playing golf? Good question. I remember watching Tiger Woods a whole bunch on TV. And I had some family members who played golf, you know, when I was growing up, so I got some exposure to it that way. Hi, you. Hi. Hi. I know. We're gonna get your next meal as soon as Dad is done streaming. I know. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Any tips for getting a 5 handicap? Last year I went from 24 to 11. Won my local club championship with a 79. Amazing. Yeah, so, you know, if you've already broken 80, you certainly have developed some decent ball striking skills. The best thing I could tell you is work on your speed. Being able to hit the ball further and straighter is always going to be an asset, so that's one. And work on your short game. Work on putting like this, you know, in that 5 to 10 foot range. That's going to help you a ton, saving pars instead of losing shots. And you can't spend enough time on short game. Chipping, pitching inside of 100 yards is so, so important for scoring. Boom. 10 in a row, guys. Let's keep the streak going. It's going to take a long time to get to 333, but I got you. Everybody loves the superstar. Exactly right. Did you get fit for that putter? I did not get fit for it, but I have been fit for putters before. So I have a pretty good idea of what I'm looking for. This is a 34-inch version from Seymour that they very kindly sent me. We also got a couple DF3s here, and then this is my favorite that I don't use it out on the golf course so much because I'm not good enough, but this is a 2003 Newport Beach from Scotty Cameron that is simply a delight to look at. This is one of my favorites. Hey, Tom's got his confirmation tomorrow. Congrats. Best of luck. And you don't have to be sorry, bro. You know, everybody's busy, got their own stuff going on. I'm just here doing my thing. trying to re-engage with YouTube a little bit, guys. You know, and if you guys have followed the stream for a long time, you know that I've been outspoken about a bunch of different things during my, 13, 14 months now making content. But when I started doing that again more recently, YouTube, I don't know if they push a button or if some guy somewhere is just like, start censoring stuff, but the audience numbers just went like straight off a cliff. Like I didn't change my content that much. I didn't change really anything besides, what I was talking about. And yeah, I guess they can just do that. But I'm still going to be here making my content, doing my thing. And if people want to show up and watch it, then that's great. But what I refuse to do is not talk about things that are important to me simply because, some people don't like it. Somebody somewhere is always going to dislike what you're doing. Do you like lab putters and have you tried one? I have. I got a couple right here. This is the original DF3 and this is the new DF3i with the upgraded insert in the face here. Both really cool. I also have an Oz, I think it's called the Oz Point 1i. Hi, yeah, I know. Which is cool. It doesn't feel quite as stable to me as these center shafted ones. Exactly right, Tom. I think they're great, Jake. I think they're great. They also sent me a couple of these, so just in full transparency, Lab and Seymour sent me these putters to try. What does she need?
She wants to go out.
Builder Bob is here. What's up, Bob? There we go, guys. But out of all the ones that I've tested, Jake, this Seymour seems to really be outperforming to the point where I think it's probably going to end up in the bag as my gamer at least to start the season. I just love I love the shape of it. I really like how the shaft goes into the putter, pretty close to the front of the face, right? See, it's really close to the putter face. Whereas these, it's much further back. It's probably 1.5 inches back. So it's just a different feel. Just, something you got to pay attention to. It's all personal preference, right? Putting is very simple. All you need to do is roll the ball on your intended line at the right speed. Bob says you've been working out. Smashing the gym. Absolutely right, Bob. Yeah, the golf ball doesn't fly a long way on its own. It's funny when you're in your early 20s and teens and you have some club head speed, you're like, man, it's just always going to be this way. I always hit the ball far. And then you injure yourself and get old, you sit at a desk, you hurt your back, all these things happen. And I lost truly like 20 miles an hour of driver club head speed from my peak to my, peak to trough. Would you consider any of the Odyssey square to square putters? I haven't tried them, Jamin, so I don't want to steer you wrong. But again, like I was just saying, there's so much personal preference involved in putting that if you pick one up and you're like, man, I just can't miss with this thing, then go for it. I mean, that's kind of how I feel with this Seymour. I really, honestly, I wanted to like the Lab putter more. Who's the best golfer in the world? Amy's here. What's up, Amy? Who do you think is the dog's bollocks? Oh, good question. Best golfer in the world? I feel like it's hard to argue against Scotty Scheffler just because of all the, the control he has of the golf ball. Feels like it's between him and Rory at the moment. Somebody I don't like, Patrick Reed or Bryson. Those ones are easy. So I gave you 2 good ones and 2 bad ones. Although I think Ludwig is probably my favorite golf swing and player to watch. Mostly because he plays really fast and his golf swing is impeccable. It's amazing. I say Lab still got the win. That's good feedback. That's really good feedback. Boom. Also, guys, we've been on the quest for a +3 handicap. That's my goal for this year. And if you want to check out some longer form videos, I've started doing more of those. Trying to get one a week done. Boom, that's 24. Let's go. Guys, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for me. It really does help me out. And it's free. Not often can you help somebody out without spending any money, which is cool. You can also go support Skull and Bogeys. They are my apparel sponsor for 2026, and they do incredible work donating 25% of the net profits to recovery charities. And as someone who is about to be 5 years sober, boom. Fetty said, go ice. Well, not everybody has a functioning brain. It's unfortunate. Boom, that's 30 in a row. How many putters do you have? Good question, Amy. So I've got 4 in here and 1 in the car, so 5 at the moment. Or maybe 6. I think we still have a spider over here somewhere, but I'm in the process of unloading all of my TaylorMade equipment. All right, so a second time today we've made it to 30 in a row. Just don't need to support a company like that any longer. Oh, what are you guys gonna get? Wow, how exciting!
He was like prancing.
What clubs do you have? I have 2011 TaylorMade MB irons. I play a driver 5-wood, 7-wood, 5 hybrid setup. And Vokey wedges. What don't I know about TaylorMade? Well, Jamin, it's not just you. I only learned about this stuff pretty recently. There's a bunch of different things that all just kind of add up. And obviously, in the system that we live in, none of these companies are perfect. They all have ulterior motives. I just, once you know certain things, you have to act accordingly. The custom Trump drivers that they made for him to give out as gifts, and then people sell for $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. That was not my favorite. Like, you just don't have to do that. They also sponsor Kai Trump, and the private equity ownership was also not my favorite. Right? If you can buy clubs from Strixon or Mizuno, at least your money isn't going to support people that you don't like. And I mean, you guys have seen, I have a bag full of TaylorMade equipment. I've loved the equipment for a long time. Getting fitted in April. Any brands or types of clubs I should get? Yeah, so, Strixon, Mizuno are really good options. Boom. Because unfortunately, it seems like most of the domestic brands are, you know, if not outright problematic, at least, you know, involved in things that most of us, or at least some of us, would be disappointed in. This, I think, is kind of the same. They also donate to a bunch of Republicans. Boom. I'm thinking about Strixon, Jamin. Oh, Strixon and Cleveland. Yeah, exactly. And again, guys, there is no ethical consumption in capitalism. Like, you know, these devices that we use, our phones, they're all made under dubious circumstances by people who are underpaid and treated poorly. You know, we all drive in gas cars. Like, there's all these ways that capitalism forces us to compromise ourselves. And you just have to decide where on that spectrum you want to land. So for me, if I invest my money in a company like Strixon, well, if they're not supporting people that I don't agree with, and they're not supporting any American politicians, then that's better than a company like TaylorMade or Ping that are actively supporting people that I strongly disagree with. You know, we have so little agency in this system. There's so much that's wrong, and we have so little ability to change it. But you do have control over how you spend your time. That's why I, you know, got up and quit my job 2 years ago. We have agency over how we spend our money, how we invest our money. And if you decide to take ownership of that agency, then it leads you to doing things like, you know, changing out the clubs that you use, or, you know, supporting different causes. Hey, Paul's here. Wilson, any good? I don't know much about Wilson. I need to learn more. I should learn more about Wilson. Hey, Paul's here. Any Nazis in today? One guy a second ago said, cringe, go ice. So, yeah, there's a few out, Paul. We can always use your help. Putting them in their rightful place. The garbage can of history. Boom. That's 39 in a row. Boom, right in the center for 40 in a row. Love to see that. So again, guys, it's all just about what compromises are you willing to make, what things are important to you. Boom, 40 in a row. Love to see that. Which Wilson putters are not very good? How you been, Paul? What about putters? I got to learn more about the putter companies. I can tell you that Lab, despite being owned by a private equity company, is run by good people. And the same with Seymour, having, you know, connected with them directly and having, you know, they've sent me different putters. You know, Seymour sent me this one. Lab sent me this one. And I don't say that because they sent me free stuff. You know, if TaylorMade was like, hey, we're going to send you a free bag of clubs, I'd be like, well, I still, you know, pass, right? Yeah, these are pretty cool. I think these are just going to alternate, you know, depending on which one is looking and feeling good. Any putter that holds out, please. I hear you, bro. I hear you. Just give me one that gets the ball in the hole. This one feels so solid though, guys. I gotta tell you. Things we love to see. Keep it rolling. First round in last week. Let's go. Don't be hopeful, be determined. I love that attitude, Paul. No! How have I done that? How have I done that? Made it up the ramp, but didn't make it all the way to the hole? What are the odds of that? Gosh, so the streak is going to end at what? What is that, 47? 47 in a row, that's frustrating. Any drills like club head speed? Because that is my biggest problem. So, two things. You can do speed-specific training. I don't have them in here, but I use something called the Super Speed System. There's another good one called the Stack. There's one called Ripstick. These are all training systems that help you learn how to swing faster. And you use a radar system to track your progress. So that's one. You can do golf-specific speed training. And part of what I've been doing as well is spending a bunch of time in the gym. So, you know, I did a TPI assessment like 6 or 7 weeks ago, identified that my upper body was specifically lacking. So I've been doing a bunch of, you know, stability-based exercises, trying to, you know, increase my strength, but also doing things like box jumps because your vertical leap, how much force you can generate off the ground, is highly, highly correlated to how much club head speed you can generate. So if you can learn how to explosively push off the ground with more force, you know, you can do things like deadlifts and squats to build your lower body strength while also training some of that explosive, you know, jumping vertical leap stuff. So that's kind of the two pieces that I would suggest to you: speed training specifically for golf, and then generally time in the gym to be able to generate more force and speed by lifting weights. Have you tried a Black & Decker? That's funny. Oh, I know, you told me about that, dude. Chipping in front of the boys is the best. Everybody's like, oh man, wish that was me. All right, guys, 47 on the streak today. Is that tempo 2? My favorite drill for tempo, guys, is freezer drills. You can do that with your putter, you can do it with a club, but you just take it all the way to the top and then just let it pause for a second. Right, just like that. The same way if you were gonna make a full swing. Get to the top, pause, and then swing down. Right, because tempo is really just, we're trying to smooth out that transition, let the club set, finish moving, and then come back down. Right, tempo isn't slow. I mean, Jake Knapp has incredible tempo and he swings it at 130 miles an hour. Right, it's just about that transition being smooth. You really need to let that club, you know, set almost, and then come down. Like imagine if you were cracking a whip, right? You kind of load it up, and you don't just like push it right as soon as you do that. You let it go, and it goes all the way back and then forward, right? Watch somebody crack a whip. There's always this kind of transition, this soft start to, you know, back to forward. And that's all tempo is. Tempo is just letting the club set and then come down. Try the pause drill. There you go. Hi. I know it's time. It is time. All right, guys, 5 o'clock. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate all the support. Hit that subscribe button. Go check out Skull and Bogeys, Seagrass Supply, my awesome sponsors. And we will see you tomorrow for another stream.